In this video, I'm going to be writing a little tool to monitor the Bitcoin mempool. I want to get a notification if someone moves some funds from a particular address. I'm going to be using ChatGPT to do a lot of the hard work, so you don't need to be an expert coder to follow along. The reason I want to set this up is because the Silk Road Bitcoin that was seized by the FBI many years ago, the Department of Justice has just announced that they've got the permission to sell it. I want to get a notification on my PC once the Bitcoin moves out of the wallet that it's currently held in. To do this, I found an API called mempool.space. This is a free API. You can copy this URL, paste it in. We can see there's no transactions currently for that address. There's no transactions sitting in the mempool. The mempool is a shared list of transactions that are waiting confirmation. It's like the waiting room for Bitcoin transactions. And bear in mind that Bitcoin has a very slow block time. The block time is average at 10 minutes and can take them a lot longer. So I want a notification as soon as any nodes on the network receive a message that Bitcoin's about to move. Let's fire up ChatGPT and see how we get on. So I'm going to set the model to 01. I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to start telling it what I want. So please write a Node.js script. You can do this in Python or Rust or whatever other programming language you want to get this API URL endpoint once every 60 seconds. I'm on a free tier here. I'm not paying for this service. I don't want to abuse the limits. I want to copy that address and just make sure we've got the right address in here. So that's the Bitcoin address where the Silk Road Bitcoin is being held currently. If they want to sell it, they're going to have to move that to an exchange. So long before they sell it, we can get a notification and we can potentially front run that or just be aware of what's happening as soon as possible. In theory, you could potentially link this up to a trading bot and you could short sell risk assets, probably altcoins to be honest, as soon as that transaction goes through. There'd be a market reaction to this, I think, if that someone moves that Bitcoin. Response for no transactions in the mempool. JSON, that's the type of response we're getting. If there are transactions, it looks like this. Just add a little bit in here. I want to use the npm module play sound to play an MP3 file once a transaction is received. Let's see how that gets on. I'm also going to need an MP3 file as well, so let's go and find MP3. Sounds quite fitting. I'm going to rename this alert. Copy that into the Bitcoin code. Let me stop this. Okay, that's good. So we're using Axios and play sound. So next thing I'm going to do is set up a new repository. And file, new repository, and I'm going to call this Bitcoin address watch. I want to initialize this for README. I'm going to set the git ignore to Node.js. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime. It allows us to run JavaScript in a terminal. You'll need to download that from nodejs.org, I think it is. And I'm going to set this to MIT license. Create a repository. And if I go into code now, Bitcoin address watch, and the next thing I'm going to do is open up with VS Code. So I open this repository with VS Code. I'm going to press Control-N to create a new file. Then I'm going to copy and paste the code from ChatGPT straight in, double check it's not doing anything too stupid. And then I'm going to save this. I'm using Control-S, and I'm going to call it watch.js. The first thing I'm going to do is install the dependency. So I'm going to do npm install axios and npm install play sound. Let's just run this up to try it first. Node watcher.js. Mempool, that's fine. Let's try it with a transaction we know is in the mempool now, just to make sure it actually works. So we have, what has this got? Live mempool, recent transactions, should do it. So if I get a from address here, input address, let's pop this in here, save that. Not getting any sound, airplane sound, okay. Just need to set the current directory. So we're putting this in, this little // it means it's in the same directory as the file this is being run from. So now we can change this back to the Silk Road address. Let's copy this in there. So that's checking now for transactions in the mempool once a minute for any transactions coming from that Silk Road address. Final thing I want to do is publish this to GitHub. So I'm just going to put in it and then publish repository. And there we go. The code is now open sourced in my GitHub repository if you want to use that to monitor the Silk Road address or any other Bitcoin address on the network. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about emerging technology and blockchain development, then subscribe to the channel, hit the like button to train the algorithm, and thank you for watching.